this was just kind of to get you ready for topic 7. Topic 7 is really short, so this will be another like 50-point test, and I haven't written it up there, but your test will be next Friday. Will be the test. It's because it's a really short unit. You should find this fairly simple. Okay, reducing the following fractions. We can do this, correct? Oh, please say we can reduce. Okay, Eric.
A is
1/4. Very good. And what would B be, Catherine?
4/5.
4/5. Very good. Okay, who knows how to solve a proportion? Anybody remember how to do that? Dylan? Oh, you want to do it? Yeah, that's fine.
So I got it into the lowest form first.
You got crazy handwriting today.
And then to get 3/5 into 35, I did times 7.
Okay.
1 over 3/5.
All right. So let's say that this doesn't come out evenly. Okay. Is there another way to do it if it doesn't come out evenly like that? That's just using general problem solving because the two are equal. You can actually use what's called cross products, and you can multiply this going both directions. So let me show you how to do it another way. So you can take it and say x times 25 is 25x. And then I can do 15 times 35. What is 15 times 35? 15. Oh, come on. 15 times 35 is 525. So 525. And then divide both sides by 25. Have you seen this before?
Yes.
Kind of, sort of. And you should get the exact same answer. Was it 20? No, what was it? 21. It was 21? Well, all we're looking for is the x. That's it. So we're just looking for that 21. Okay, so either method's fine. This method works 100% of the time. The other method's going to work when the numbers are nice and easy. Does that make sense? So you can use both methods whenever it works. Okay, we are actually going to do 2 lessons today. So the learning goal for lesson, this first lesson is so simple. It was even simple for my regular kids when I taught it to them that I knew you would almost get bored. So you understand how to write equivalent ratios, and then the second part is the student will understand rates and unit rates. Okay? You did some of this? Good. So, like I said, this should be pretty easy. Okay, so first of all, I just want you to understand that you can write equivalent ratios 3 different ways, just depending on how and what you're looking at. So it says you can use ratios to make comparisons. So you can write the word 2 and say it's 2, 2, 1. You can actually put in a colon and say 2, 2, 1. You're still saying the word 2. Or you can say 2 over 1 in a fraction, which is still 2 to 1. So those are the 3 different ways. Yes?
Would it be the same if it was also like 1 over 2 or 1 to 2?
It would not, because this is saying that there are 2 blue circles to 1 red square. So it would have to be the 2 to the 1.
So will the bigger number always be first?
It's whatever is in the problem. And I'm going to show you some examples of it. Okay, so let's look at this bowling one. It says, write the ratio of the number of pins left standing. Here's the magic word 2. So that tells you what order. So you've got to put the number of pins left standing, and then the dot dot to the number of pins knocked down. Okay, so number of pins left standing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the number of pins knocked down is 1, 2, 3. And I want to write it 3 ways. So I would write 7 dot dot 3. I could write the word 7 to 3, or I could write it as a fraction 7 over 3. But the 7 has to come first. Yes?
Why would you write it in the fraction way? That's like a division problem.
It's just another way to write it. It's another way to show that it's 7 to 3. It really means the same thing. All right, then the next one says, write the number of pins knocked down, and you have to watch your wording on digits because they're going to change the words. So here's your magic word 2, and this says to the total number of pins, and they like to change this on you every problem. So what would this ratio be? Listen. 3 to 7? 3 to 10? What do you guys think? Number of pins knocked down would be 3 to the total number of pins, which would be 10. Okay, and this one didn't say write it 3 ways, but if you had to, I think you could. Okay, questions on that before I move on? Okay, so next part of this, they want to make sure you know how to do equivalent ratios. that 1/3 is the same thing as 2/6. It's just reduced, which is the same thing as 4/12. These are just reduced. That's like in the warm-up today. I was basically having you do equivalent. I just said reduce. Does that make sense? Too easy. I know. See, this is why I don't want to go too fast, but I don't want to go too slow either. Yeah, this is all 7-1. That's why I didn't think we needed a lot of time with it. Okay, so find a ratio equivalent to 12/15 with lesser terms. Somebody tell me one. Lesser terms.
3 to 5.
3 to 5? 3/5? Do you guys agree? Yeah, they just divide both of these by...
No, that'd be,
No,
that's
no,
wrong.
no.
That's off.
Bad. Try again. Divide both by 3, right? So this would be 4/5. Okay, good. All right, what about A? What's a ratio that would have equivalent, that would be equivalent but lesser terms for A?
Does that be the lowest?
It's just saying lesser.
Okay.
So no, it doesn't have to be lowest.
10/14.
Sure, that would work. Or you could say 5/7. That would work. Just lesser terms. Okay, next one. Katie. 7/8. You might have another one. Okay.
28/13.
Sure. Just lesser terms. And can you go the opposite way? If it asks you for greater terms, can you do that? Yeah. How many could we come up with here? Oh, bunch. Infinity, right? Because you could just keep multiplying it to get bigger. You can multiply this is by 2. I could do by 3, 4, through infinity. I could come up with millions of them that are greater terms, but limited for lesser terms. Okay? All right. Now, here's the part that's a little harder. This is, I think, the only hard part of this first part. So this is going to combine what we did in the warm-up and then this part. So this says you volunteer at an animal shelter and need to order supplies. You know that the ratio of kitten supplies to adult cat supplies for each category is equivalent. Complete the table. Okay, meaning that kittens are going to need less food than adult cats. Does that make sense? Okay, but treats here, kittens are going to eat 42 treats, big cats eat 56. And cans of food, kittens will eat 26. We need to know how many adult cats. Okay, so I need these two numbers. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up the food as a ratio. So we're going to say x/8. And then the one I know is I know the treats. So the treats I could set up as 42/56. Does that make sense? Okay, and then how did I show you to solve this?
8 times 42 and then divided by 6.
Okay, so you can use Dylan's method or my method, whichever method you want, okay? I just like to use cross products, that's what I usually do. But if you want to say 8 times, what is 56? 7, right? And then what would you have to do here?
72 or 42 divided by 6.
Yeah, then you have to divide by 7, and that would get you back to 6. So this answer would be 6. Because 6/8 would be equivalent to 42/56, just like what we just did on the last slide. Okay, if you don't like that method, then you can crisscross it, right? You can take 56 times x and go 56x, whatever 42 times 8 is. This 42 times 8, 336. Oh, come on, computer. All right, so 336. Why aren't you disappearing? And then I would divide both sides by 56, and I would still get what? 6. Okay. All right. So let's do the next one. Food cans. So I'm still going to start with the treats because I know this one. All right. So my treats here are 42/56. Where does the 126 go? Numerator or denominator? 42 is going to match with kittens, right? These are kittens, so we want it in the numerator. And then this matches the big cats. So that's going to be my x. Which way do you want to do it this way? Or how do you want to do it this time? You want to crisscross it? Okay, so can you guys help me with the calculations? So what is 56 times 126?
Oh, it's 300.
It's going to be pretty big. 7,056? 42. Okay? And then divide both sides by 42. 392. So that means for food cans, if the kittens are going to eat 126, I have to buy 300. You told me 390, or did I write that down?
392.
392 would be the amount of cans I would need for an adult cat. I think that's the hardest part of 7-1. Does that make sense? You guys okay? All right. All right. Now, we have to be cautious of units. All right, so this one says, I don't know why this one's obsessed with animals, but it is. So, a kitten weighs 12 ounces, a puppy weighs 3 pounds. Write the ratio of a kitten's weight. Here's the magic word, to the puppy's weight. So the kitten's weight is 12 ounces, but the problem is the puppy's weight is in 3 pounds, and they have to be in the same units. I said here, watch out for units. So it means you got to switch it all to pounds or all to ounces. What would you like to do?
Ounces.
Probably ounces is what I would do. How many ounces in a pound?
16.
Yes, there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. If you didn't know that, where would you go to look? Internet. Yeah, just go look it up on the internet. Okay, so we would have 12, ... We're going to take 3 times 16. What is that, 48? Okay, and then this says as a fraction in simplest form. Am I in simplest form? No, so I would reduce that. So I could say 1/4. Now think about what they're saying. That is saying, the reason you're doing that is you're saying a kitten weighs 1/4 of a puppy. Yeah, 1 every 4 only weighs 1. That's what it's saying. All right. 4 kitties to weigh 1 puppy. Yes, that's what I would mean. If you could get 4 kitties in one place to weigh them, that's exactly what it would mean. I saw the coolest video, and it was, I don't remember what I was watching, but he set a box, like just the lid at the top of the stairs, and then he had these 2 cats, and he got his little laser pointer, and he was putting it in the box, and waited for the cat to jump in the box, and as soon as it did, it went straight down the stairs. It was hilarious. It's really good. All right.
Teachers, please excuse the interruption. Please check your email.
Okay, so 6 feet. Okay, so 6 feet to 6 yards. What's wrong with this? Good. So what do you want to convert him to? Now, could you do either here? Yeah, you could do whatever you want. So it doesn't matter. So if you went feet, how many feet are in a yard? 3. So this could be 6 feet to 18 feet, and then you would reduce that to 1/3. You would get the exact same thing if you converted both of those to yards, because you would get what, 2 to 6, and then reduce to 1 to 3. Exact same. Okay. All right. Looking at the next one. Okay, here's the next. This is lesson 7-2. 7-2 is all about unit rates. Unit rates we use all the time in real life. Okay, when we're driving in our car, we drive 55 miles per hour. That is a unit rate, because it's to 1 unit. Okay, so it explains both of them here. A rate allows you to use different units. Everything we were just doing was in the same units, right? So now we transition to where we can use different units, and specifically a unit rate compares it to 1 unit. Okay, so like I said, that's like miles per hour. When no one says, I go 300 miles per 4 hours. That stuff, no one would say that, right? You say, I walk 20 miles per hour, or whatever you do. Okay, so this is just like gasoline. No one says, my car goes 120 miles on 4 gallons. They're like, what? Like we always say, what is the miles per gallon? Does that make sense? So like when you buy a car, they actually have it right on the sticker that says miles per gallon. So that's 30 miles per 1 gallon. Would that be good or bad, by the way? That'd be decent. That's not bad. Like my SUV gets like 19. So that's not so great. So 30 and above is pretty decent. All right, Mr. Lobster. Yay, Mr. Lobster. Yay, look, he even looks happy. Okay. A lobster molts, which I didn't know that's what it was called, but or sheds his shell 20 times over a period of 5 years. How many times per year does the lobster molt? Yeah, so you're just saying 20 over 5, so it's 4 times per year. What's that called? Unit rate. Good. This is a rate. 20